9 years ago, Madison Beer started posting covers on YouTube. During those 9 years, so much has happened. She's had numerous gold and platinum singles. She's amassed over 22 million followers on Instagram and 16 million on TikTok. But even better than that, just recently she released her debut album, which is already topping the charts. It's gone straight to number one here in Ireland. It is called Life Support. And even better than that, we have Madison on the show with us now. Madison, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Do you have cherries on your shirt?
I do have cherries on my shirt.
Cherries on mine
Oh,
too.
no way. We're connecting, we're bonding. But
That's
tell
cute.
tell me this. I am loving your new album, and I'm loving that you said you wanted to make an album that was purely Madison. So when you make an album that is purely Madison and it connects with the fans, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel amazing. I have such a close relationship with my fans, and I think this album was really meant for the people who might know of me, but like don't know anything really about me. And I want people to be able to listen to it and be like, I kind of understand this girl a little bit, and I have a sense of who she is a bit better. And I'm really happy that it turned out that way.
Because what would you say the biggest misconception people have about you? Because they think they know you. I mean, you've been out there for 9 years now. You've got so
Yeah.
many fans around the world. What's the biggest misconception?
I can't pick one. I think that there's a lot. I've seen things fly around since I was 12, and I'm just like, who are you guys talking about? Because I know it's not me. But I don't know. I think it's just mainly this overarching idea of me that I kind of fixate on. It might be kind of made up in my head, but I tend to meet people and they're like, "You're much different than I thought you would be," or they're always for some reason surprised, and I just don't. I'm like, well, what did you think I was going to be like, and like who did you think I was? And so I don't know. That's kind of given me the impression that people had assumptions about me, and that can be kind of a daunting thing when you are growing up, especially. It can be tough to walk into a room and realize that most people might have their minds made up about you already that you've never even met. And I don't know, for a long time I felt like I was kind of like reeling back this idea that people might have had about me and introducing the real me. I've tried to do that on the internet, but I've mainly in my real life, when I meet people, um I will constantly be told that I'm much different than they thought or whatever. And um, I kind of enjoy being like, well, this is who I am, and I'm happy that you got to meet me. But it's also saddening that there's so many people out there who maybe never will, that will always have this idea that's not accurate whatsoever. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of learned to accept that not everyone's always gonna see you and know you for exactly who you are.
It's great when you get to that realization and when you realize that what someone else thinks about you is actually none of your business in a really good way. Like it shouldn't matter. But Madison, you said you started this at 12. How, as a teenager, are you handling all of that? And like also, in days gone by, you'd hear about it, but you wouldn't necessarily see it. But thanks to Instagram and TikTok, you're seeing all these comments. How do you deal with the great ones? Because they're great to see as well. But then how do you deal with the ones that aren't so great?
Yeah, I get really overwhelmed with like positivity, like when I'm getting flooded with kind messages. I'm so, to put it into words, it's like I've created within the last, I would say, year, I've created a lot of boundaries for myself. I've created a much better relationship with myself, which is kind of even just like you said, like I'm not going to let other people's opinions of me dictate who I am or what I think I am or how I feel about myself. But with that being said, I think no matter how high you build your walls, there's certain things that are just going to get to you if you're a human being. And unfortunately, I am one. So I, I, you know, I,
Fortunately.
I still to this day though, I still read things, and I cry myself to sleep, and I feel, really sad. And I'm also someone who always kind of react. I'm a very reactive person, and I haven't been able to turn that off since for the past 10 years. And I've also learned that I don't think that that's such a bad thing. I think that I tell all my fans, and I tell anyone who listens to me speak, like, you should always stand up for yourself. And if you're in a room that you don't feel like you're being respected, or you're with people, or someone's saying things about you, like, I feel like you should be able to stand up for yourself. And I think that goes for the same thing on the internet. Of course, there's certain things that it's just like not worth engaging with, but I'll see things sometimes that I'm like, this is just wrong inherently, and the things you guys are saying about me are just wrong, and I'm another person, and the fact that you can sleep at night when you are saying such, vile, horrible things about someone you don't even know, is wrong, and it's actually like frightening to me. So I try to speak up when I can. I went on like a bit of a Twitter rampage the other day and spoke about all of that kind of stuff. And if my tweets and my talking about it, makes one less person press send on a hateful comment, then I'm happy with that, and I'll take that any day. So that's the only reason that I kind of still continue to speak up and engage with it.
It's great to hear that you are speaking up, but you said, when I was younger, I felt silenced in almost every room I would walk into. How
Mhm.
did you find the confidence to find your voice and use your voice? Because I think we all should be using our voice, but it's not always that simple, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think being not only young but being a woman was really tough for a long time, and I was not respected the same way that I think I would have been if I was a man. And I was kind of told for a long time I didn't know what I was talking about, and I wasn't in the industry, and my ideas basically weren't worth listening to. And I think it took me kind of almost giving up and being like, do I want to do this anymore? This is just draining, basically, and it's just making me feel terrible. Do I want to even do this? And then I was like, yeah, I do. And I'm gonna start to stand up for myself. And if I'm, sitting somewhere and I'm in a meeting, or I'm in a, interview, or I'm doing whatever, and I feel like I'm not being respected, I'm not gonna sit there and take it. I'm just gonna, I speak up, and I feel a lot better about it. And I feel like, no one tries to steamroll over me anymore. My ideas are heard and they're respected, and it means a lot. And it makes me really happy when I am able to be like, hey, no, actually, this is my opinion, and maybe if we don't go with it, that's fine. But like, you're gonna listen, and you're gonna, you're gonna like hear me out, because I feel like I have good ideas. And um if not, then, I don't want to even I don't work with people though, or like engage with people who I feel like, like belittle me or disrespect me. Like I was recently, I don't remember where I was somewhere, and I was with like four guys. And guys can kind of just make you feel like a little ganged up on sometime. And like they can do it, like, maybe not knowingly. Like, I kind of was, like, the butt of every joke, and I was the person who I felt like I was kinda being, like, picked on. It was a friendly way, these are my friends, but it was affecting me, and it was hurting my feelings, and I didn't feel, like it was nice. And I stood up for myself in front of them, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna go home. I feel like, pretty bad, and you guys are making me feel pretty bad." And they all immediately were like, "Wait, what? Like, we were joking around with you. We like completely were kidding, whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, but it's not nice when you guys are like four boys and you're ganging up on one girl, and you're making me feel, like, again, like the butt of every joke, and I'm just being like, I feel like I'm being just bullied, and I'm being ganged up on." And I was like, I'm not, and I don't feel safe, and I feel like weird, and I just don't like it. And yeah, I left. And afterwards they all were like, "Oh my God, we're so sorry. We thought we were kidding." And I was like, "Yeah, but like, you can't, there's just, I don't know, there's a lot of layers to it." But people kind of like joke with each other in a way that I think sometimes is too much. And I think that every person, and I think a lot of girls also go through that, where they'll be hanging out with, like, boys in particular, and they feel like, oh well, I can't stand up for myself right now, because like they're gonna all call me like, super sensitive, or they're gonna make fun of me even more, or whatever. But it's like, no, you deserve, if you're sitting in a room with people, I don't care who they are, and if they're your friends especially, you should feel comfortable. You should be like, hey, like, chill. It's not cool. And yeah, I just learned to do that.
I completely agree. I also I love that I hate that you had to think about leaving this industry, but I love that you went, no, I'm sticking around. This is what I love to do. Madison, why do you love doing what you're doing?
I feel like I've um touched and reached a lot of people. I've felt it in full effect over the last, month since I released the album. And um that's kind of which why I do it. I've been in places where I've felt very alone in the world, and if I can provide people any sense of comfortability and, less loneliness, I am happy to stick around.
You called the album Life Support. What do you consider your life support to be? Or
Um,
who?
I think making music and my fans are very much so serving as that. Like they see me and hear me, and they always know what I mean. And sometimes I can feel a bit scatterbrained and I could feel like I ramble and don't make sense. And they will constantly reassure me and make me feel so good. And they're just incredible. And the bond I've created with them has is so it's so rare and undescribable. And I'm just so lucky that I have such amazing receptive people in my fan base. And yeah, I think, and also just creating music is the most incredible thing I think life has to offer. So I'm really, really lucky that I get to do it every day.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Before I let you go, are any plans, like when the world reopens, plans to tour this album and to come visit us here in Ireland?
Of course, absolutely. I miss my Irish fans a lot. I miss all my fans. I want to do a full worldwide tour. So, most definitely, I will be back out the second that I'm able to.
Cannot wait. And Madison, I'm loving that. I've used that word love a lot, but I really am loving that you're getting to be the person you want to be and that you're willing to share that with us. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.